I'm at it again. This is going to be short and sweet, to the point. We're doing this one. There's no tutorial. And we're using scrap. We're going to see how it comes out. Let's go. Alright, so we have already started. I have cut out everything. I did the tie. The tie is longer than the original because it was short to me. I added in on the back portion about, you can see about 1/2 inch or so. Going up a different size, I don't think I can do. I could have did the extra large, but we're going to give that a try later on. Not today, because this is pre-cut. And I made all my markings and cut piece 1. There's other pieces, including the sleeve. I am doing this in a mesh because I didn't have enough of the other one. So with this particular pattern, I will have to read. So this is the front. Don't pay attention to all the extra lines. It's okay. Now, what I did say when it came to the pattern, I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. Alright, so these are the pattern pieces for this pattern. Okay? And this is the pattern, the front. So I've already done each part, but in the pattern, it is very important, and I gotta show it actually to you, that it is imperative, and I mean this, that you do all your markings. So you need a good marking tool. I use chalk, and sometimes it rubs off, or I forget a marking. So right here, we got the marking here, and that's for your stay stitch line. There's a marking here, marking here, marking here, 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 here. It's a lot of markings, okay? And I'm gonna have to lay this actually on my pattern. The reason why is because I thought I had gotten my all my markings in place, because looking at it like straight down, I'm at the point where I'm actually supposed to take, you need to clip. I'll do it on screen. You need to clip, because I already got a stitch there. Cut to the line, but not through the stitching line. And then you take and flip up. This is the left side. If you're looking at it, it's right when you're looking at it. Now, as I'm looking at it, I realized that part of it, I didn't stitch down. Part of this that should have been stitched down. I'm just probably going to pin it in place. First of all, I'm just going to pin it in place. It is what it is. I'm not going back to the sewing machine. Not in the mood. Okay. So I know that this is, now it may be off due to the fact that I did not do, I made the width of my back a little bit bigger. Hopefully I gave myself a little bit more length. I think I did, and it should be fine. So I'm looking at, so currently right now, on the table, it's from here to here, which is, it looks like it's the bottom portion of the top. It may not seem like it, but it's the actual bottom. All right. And we're working on we're starting from step 12. So looking at your pattern, this is how I know that I forgot something. And it took me a minute to figure it out. And I probably still ain't figured it out. And I'm just going to make it work. All right. This side up. Okay. So I'm looking at the bottom that I showed y'all. Okay. And that's what it's supposed to be. You're going to take, this is where I know that I didn't do some. All right. So I had to go back and make some markings. Not because I don't know what I'm doing, but I didn't make sure, this is what I tell you, make sure you mark well. I don't use pretty much anything except for chalk when I make my markings. And I take a chance with it. But the reason why I tend to use chalk more than anything is because chalk comes out. I would rather it come out and have to remark than to sit and use some of these other markers. I've seen disappearing markers come back and bite you in the butt. I've just had some bad experiences with different things. The one thing I don't have is a bad experience with chalk. It may rub away, but guess what? It won't stay there. Anyway, that's my 2 cents and I'm sticking to it. All right, and I'm going to actually read the instructions to you to make sure I'm doing this right. All right, so like I've said, the right sides together. There is a marking. This is the front. There's a marking. You're supposed to stitch to the large line, which is here, which I didn't stitch to. I'm not stressed about it. I ain't got to go stitch this part. I'm not. And I'm not. I'm going to pin it. Because it'll be fine. Because it's going to get stitched anyway. I need to make sure this one is going to go to the line. And pin it. All right. So I pinned those two pieces. All right. It's fine. It'll be fine. Make sure you're looking at it. And I'm getting ready to read 13. It says, fold the left, which if you're looking at it, it's going to be this side. Not this side. It's this side. And looking at the picture, it tells you. Fold. Now I need to make sure this is laid out the way so you can see. May feel weird. May look weird. So this is the back. You see the back. All right. Now I'm going to take the fold the left band and tie up towards the neckline. Up towards the neckline. Okay. Then bring the right band tie to the left. With the right sides together, pin the small dots, large dots, and notches. Now, I don't have all my notches, but it's okay. I know there's a large dot right here. The pin that's here that I didn't sew up to is a large dot. And it says pin, large dot and small dot together. So I had to shift it over. I thought I had shifted far enough. I didn't. Okay. So you can see what I'm doing. This extends out and there's a notch. On the pattern, this is where I am. This is a large dot, there's a small dot. Okay. and I'm working in this area. Because these 2 dots right here are going to end up over here. And I'm going to switch. And I'm going to switch and pull it over. It just feels like it's so wrong, but I don't think it is. It's not. It just feels so wrong. Okay, I will admit that as I'm doing this, it feels so wrong. Like it doesn't make sense. The only reason why I know it's right is because my side, this is supposed to end up at the side seam. This is where the tie actually starts to connect. You're actually connecting it to the side seam. That's the only reason why I know that I'm going in the right direction. So if this literally, your tie that you attach pretty much falls at the side seam, that means you're going in the right direction, okay? And you're going to have to stretch it slightly. Mine will have to stretch due to the fact that I ended up doing some changing. I just didn't go up to the larger size because it wasn't like really that much I needed to change. And I just added to the side because I liked the fit of the other one, but it just was a little too snatched. All right, so I pinned across the bottom. There's lax in my piece, but once I stitch it, it'll be fine. Then this, because this is a part of the tie, it was supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like this. Now this will go and match all the way to the back. And it should match at your very back. Now mine's, like I said, I did make some changes, but I forgot to add to the length of my band. Yeah, I forgot to do that. So we're gonna have some extra ballooning. Now I will tell you, I will be doing this again because I want to get it right for me. And with commercial patterns, they're usually not right for everybody anyway. Some people, it will work out completely perfectly, and that's because the body type they are is to the draft that they made it for. Like the height usually ain't a big issue. It's like your bust, waist, and hip fits their demographic or whatever. I don't fit. I will never fit anybody's demographic or pattern. Never. I will always have to make changes to make them fit. And I'm fine with it. That's why some patterns I just make myself. I don't stress about it. But I like to try different things out. I don't stress. So as you can tell, I just went on, and even though it does not fit, once it stretches, it'll fit more. It's just going to be a little bit balloony in the back, which on the first one, it fits like that. Okay? I don't like that feel anyway. So, which is unusual for most cases, you will have to sew this in place before you can deal with the other side. I will tell you again, you will have to sew this in place before you deal with the other side. Okay? Okay, I'm laying it back the way it was before I sewed it. Okay. Your back is laid down. We're getting ready to start with 15. This is your back. Your front. The tie that we moved out of the way. And this is where you need to make sure you have sewn down this part of the tie to the dot that is closest to the part you clipped. It's important. You'll see why in a second because I forgot. All right. Like I said, this side is already sewn into place. And you can still see the back. That's past the line of it's supposed to be. We're just cutting off the excess. It's fine. All right. So find your thing. And fish this, which is real crazy. It's not closed. It may look close, but it's not. Fish it down in here. Did I sew something wrong, y'all? I don't think I did. Oh, maybe if I pull this all the way through. Okay, that looks right. Now it's gonna look like a knot in the middle because that's what it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna actually sew it up as far as I can. I don't think it does that on the pattern. It doesn't say that. I'm gonna close it up as much as possible because it's not like it's supposed to move. Because mine does have, my first one does have like a small hole. But it's not a hole that you see. Now this, once it's done, it'll literally drape out and you will not even notice it. So I pinned it to the side seam. And we need to pin this all the way back. Like where I was saying, this part. You notched it so that it comes out. This is a jersey knit. I didn't press it well. But this end goes all the way here. Goes all the way to the end. And I told you I wouldn't worry about it. I'm just going to stretch it a little bit. And if you don't stretch it, I'm just literally pulling like a hair. Not much. And the only reason why I'm doing this pulling because I did make the back a little bit wider. Because I like the size 18 or extra large. And I didn't want to go to the 2X and make it too big. Now, when you look at the pattern, it looks a hot mess. And you just don't think you're doing it right. As long as you got the side seam of the beginning of the tie at the side, working from the side seam. If you have it pinned where your tie starts at the side seam, you're halfway there. I do need to move mine a little bit forward because it's actually a little bit further back than I want it to be. So I do want it to be at the side seam, which is fine. And then everything else should go into place. And I'm going to stitch this up real quick. All right, meant to tell you that when you get a chance, if you are a person who don't follow the exact rules and regulations as far as the order of the pattern, the one thing you can go ahead and get done while you're sewing the side seams up is to go ahead and get your sleeve done. The reason why is because already the sides are actually done. Once you sew the side seams, you don't touch it anymore until you attach the sleeves, and you can't put the neckband on until the sleeves are on. So go ahead and prep your sleeves the way you want them, whether or not you're going to do the elastic in the bottom of them or not. Make sure you go ahead and get that out of the way. It's always easier to work on your sleeve without it being attached if you're putting a hem in it, as well as if you are putting elastic in it. So I just have mine pinned. It's not closed because even though they tell you the size, for me I had to do what's comfortable because the last one was too tight. Make sure you have the front for the front and back for the back. So I'm going to attach it, and all right, we had a dilemma. I was about to scream, but all things happen for a reason. So I sewed my sleeve and I was planning to do elastic in the bottom. But I remembered originally I didn't want elastic. I wanted it to be a loose sleeve. Well, what I ended up doing was I actually sewed my side seam wrong. So I had to cut it about 1.5 inches off of the bottom. And so since I had to cut 1.5 inches off, I didn't want to spend time. Let me show it to you. I actually didn't like the finish. I'll make sure I zoom in so you can see it right here. So I did a 3-step finishing on my regular sewing machine, and it just made it ate it up. Hopefully you can see it. It just made, instead of it nice and smooth, I should have used another, like a piece of paper or something to kind of give it something to lay on so it just wouldn't scrunch up so much, because this is a stretchy material, plus I use a stretchy stitch. But I didn't like the look anyway, so maybe that was a benefit. So I went on and had a piece that I happen to already have cut, and which is about it. I think I did it 2 1/4 wide. It's either 1 1 1/3 to like 2 inches, maybe something like that. In between there. Wide, I did that, and it was just long enough, maybe slightly bit shorter than the sleeve, which is fine. I've already attached one. I did pin it to the wrong side of the sleeve, and I am actually just coming through, folding. I did like a 1/4 inch stitch around the whole perimeter, and then I am taking and folding it in half and turning it up and moving it high enough that it actually covers the stitching, and pinning it. Because I did the finishing or pinned it on the inside and I'm wrapping it to the outside, I should be able to sit there and just do my stitching because I can control it and I can see where it's going. I'm not taking the time to hand stitch anything. I know some people probably would, but because I am controlling it by I'll be able to see where the fabric is. There's no need. I'm just making sure that as I pin it, that I am moving my fabric just past the stitch line. I mean, very faint, very short, like a hair or two past the stitch line, and pinning it. I'm doing multiple pins so that I don't have to do hand stitching.